I got a BBL yesterday.
This is not easy. This is so painful.
I could literally feel that sucking the fat out of me.
And for the next 6 weeks, I can't sit on my bums.
I'm a big fan of 3 months doing the best you can to stay off the body.
I spend easily, I'd say like 15K.
If you get a BBL and you eat terribly, you do not work out, your body will not keep the results that your doctor gave you.
BBL smells a thing.
Today we're talking about BBL recovery, lipo, fat transfer, pain, aftercare, cost, and the whole side of getting a perfect body that doesn't make it into the cute before and after videos. Online, a BBL looks like the ultimate transformation. Smaller waist, rounder hips, fuller shape, confidence overnight. But these women's stories show the pain, the swelling, not being able to sit, the massages, the blood, the smell, the complications, the maintenance. This surgery is not as simple as it looks online, not even close.
Let me de-influence you on getting a BBL, lipo, all of that.
I regret this BBL so much right now. It hurts. Everything hurts. Standing hurts. Laying hurts. Kneeling hurts. Breathing hurts. Everything hurts so much. Oh my fucking God. I can't do this. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to survive. I have 4 weeks and 6 days of this torture left. This is fucked up. No one talks about how fucked up this is. Why does no one talk about it? Why do I have never seen a TikTok of a girl getting a BBL and saying, this is fucking horrific. This is fucking horrific.
So it's been this is day 3. And I'm not saying this because I'm unhappy with my results. I think my body is tea. It looks amazing. But it is not worth it, you guys. Like the amount of pain that lipo here. I need to wear my chin thing, but it was giving me a migraine. So I had lipo for the first time around 7 years ago, and I wanted to do it again now because I had the extra fat, and this time I wanted to do a transfer. After I had my baby and stuff, I feel like I liked the size of my butt, but I kind of wanted to do like a little bit of a reshaping, a little bit of like filling in my hips and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's just not worth it. It is just not worth it. The pain is just way too much. The uncomfortableness, the inconvenience of everything, the faja, the boards, the foams, the massages, the pain, the no sleep. Like, girl, at that point, just go to the gym. Like, just go to the gym. I don't think it's worth it at all. Like, I'm happy that, you know, I have my results and stuff, but I would not do this again. Not do this again. It's so crazy to me that how popular of a procedure this is, considering that it's like super dangerous, and what you experience after, it's like no joke. It is no joke. And I know it's like, who am I to talk because I did it, but I feel like I did not remember it being like this. That was worse than childbirth. Like, seriously, the pain, worse than childbirth. When I woke up, I felt like I had been stabbed like 20 times all over my body. Everything burned. The anesthesia, I felt like nausea. It was just, I was like coherent and not coherent at the same time. It was just a nightmare.
So today is day 3 post-op for me, post-op from lipo and a BBL. I just had my lymphatic drainage massage, my second one. Yesterday, we had to stop early because I just kept getting really nauseous when she kept working in this area right here. But I think it's because the drain is connected to here. So that was making me nauseous. Today we had a really good massage. It was my second one. My massage lady, my masseuse, she is a queen. Like, yeah, it's painful, but it's not as painful as everything I've seen people say. So I'm about to go shower, you guys, and then get ready for the day with you.
The biggest thing that comes up is pain. And I don't mean the kind people mention once and move on from. Women are saying everything hurts. Standing hurts, that lying down hurts, kneeling hurts, breathing hurts, getting up hurts, going to the bathroom hurts, sleeping hurts, the massages hurt, the faja hurts. For weeks, recovery basically becomes your whole life. And what got me is some of these women weren't even unhappy with how they looked. One said her body turned out good, but between the pain and how disruptive it all was, it still didn't feel worth it. That's worth sitting with, because people usually assume regret means you hate your result. Sometimes it's not about the result at all. Sometimes it's just about what your body had to go through to get there. That's the part social media doesn't show you. You get the waist, the hips, the outfit, the reveal. You don't get the woman crying for her mom after surgery. You don't get someone waking up from anesthesia shaking and freezing. You don't get the first time trying to pee or the fainting or someone flat out saying, I am never doing this again.
Okay, you guys, I just woke up. This is the third time getting up since I got home. This is not easy. This is so painful. It is super painful. When I got up from the hospital the first time, my whole body was aching. I did not know what to do. I was crying. Everywhere was painful. And I was thinking, what about the medication? The pain medication they gave to me wasn't working. It took time to work. I got home. Actually, even before I left the hospital, I was crying. I was hysteric. I was crying for my mom. I was crying for my grandma. And I got in the car and I told my husband, I'm never ever going to do it again. I'm never going to do it again. I got to the hotel. It's the same thing. Everything was painful. I tried to get into the bed. I could not. I tried to do anything. They said I should eat. I've been drinking these protein shakes. Don't worry, this is the protein shake. Some of it spilled. This is what I've been drinking, and it's been very helpful. And then I ate. I had some ribs when I woke up the second time. Ribs and broccoli, which was nice. This is my third time waking up. I feel so much better. Each time I go to sleep and I wake up, I feel a little bit more better. I have been taking the medication every 6 hours. I feel a little more better. But now the issue comes when I have to go pee. When I have to go do number 1 in the bathroom. I don't know what I'm going to do about number 2. But number 1 is going to be... number 1 has been very tricky. But fortunately, I have the Depends, which is what I've been using. And when I bought the Depends, I didn't know what I was going to use them for. I just saw other people buying it. They were recommended. And then I bought them. But now they're really coming in handy, you guys. They've been helpful because I don't want to take the fupa, the faja, on and off each time I have to go. I don't know why they didn't give me one with the zipper. But hey, I think I am, my body's looking a little, what do they call, shaped, yes? Augmented, yes? Augment, I don't know that word. Well, yeah, my body's looking shaped. That's all I saw. I have not really seen anything. But I think I'm happy. I don't know. I'm just happy that the first phase is gone because I was dying. I'll keep you updated. Let me drink my protein shake. Oh, I just woke up. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Please.
I did good. My
Your bag is behind me, honey.
my bonnet.
Your bonnet? Not doing that. Bag.
I can't stop shivering. Like, what the? How do you feel? I'm okay. And pain. Oh, you're cold. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you. Is your butt hurt? I want my medication, but they said I have to eat. Okay, I'll buy you some crackers. Out there. Thank you. I'm okay. Huh? I'm okay. What? I'm okay. I'm okay.
What did you? What were you just sitting on?
What?
What were you just sitting on? A pillow?
Child. I'm okay.
You're not in any pain?
Of course, one of the
You don't seem like you are.
it ain't that bad.
Oh, okay. Well, then great. That's great to hear.
I need the Percocet right now.
They didn't give it to you while you were up there?
I don't know what they gave me. Ask the lady.
Christiane, ask her what they gave her. What medication did they just give her?
Yeah, the medications are in here.
But they gave her something while she was up.
Did she take a Percocet already?
No,
Not yet. She has to eat first.
That's why we recommend to her.
I ordered Sancocho.
Okay.
Huh?
I ordered soup.
Oh, I was like, what the hell is that?
Okay.
She takes it out, she can throw up.
Okay.
Not throwing up.
You comfortable?
Bro, I'm saying. Thank you guys so much.
I'm weak.
BBLs got so normalized online that people started talking about them like a beauty appointment. It's not lashes. It's not nails. It's not a waist trainer. This is the part worth understanding before booking anything. You're not just paying for a body, you're paying with your time, your sleep, your money, and your entire routine on pause. Fat is being taken out of one part of your body and put into another, and you're healing from both of those things at once. So when women say the recovery was brutal, I believe every word of it.
When I woke up, y'all, from that anesthesia, that was the worst thing I've ever felt in my life. Like, I was shaking so bad and I was so cold. Oh my God. And then like my body was just like in such a shock. I can't even explain that pain when I woke up. But then I came to the Airbnb and I got this IV infusion. And it basically like hydrated me and stuff. That was like $260. And after that, I was knocked out for like 4 or 5 hours. I woke up feeling perfectly fine. Then I went to the bathroom and I thought I was cool. It took so much energy out of me to pee. As soon as I stood back up after I peed, I fainted, y'all. Like, it was so scary. I fainted and I don't even remember fainting. I just looked up and my friends was in my face asking me, talking to me, saying my name and stuff. So after that, I got on my knees, and when I was on my knees, I came like straight back. Like, I was literally like up. And then after I took that Percocet, my jaw, I went through pain from 12 to around like 7. I didn't get my Percocet until 7 p.m. So I had Tylenol extra strength. That actually worked really good. But after I fainted, I took my medicine like an hour after I fainted. Took that Percocet. I had like 3 cheeseburgers. And then after that, I've been cool for real. It's just, my body's just so sore and so stiff. It's so sad. Like, it fucking sucks. But my appetite, I've been having appetite and everything. Pain level has not been bad. I've been making TikToks and everything, y'all. I just get winded really fast. Like, I can't do too much. Like, yesterday I was trying to clean up a little. I was taking breaths. I was so tired, but yeah, it's getting better every day. The fucking massages hurt. Don't let nobody lie to y'all. The motherfuckers hurt. After you get them done, then you like, okay, my body not stiff no more. Like, what the heck? I can finally stand up straight. But the massages hurt. They reopen your incisions for one. Look at my friendship is gone. But y'all, they reopen your incisions for one, and that hurts. And then the bottom of my back, when she pressing the bottom of my back, and mind y'all, when they massage y'all, they getting all that fluid out your body. Literally, like you're gonna see fluid sprouting out your body. It's crazy. But yeah, the massages are my worst pain right now, and my hips are just really sore. So yeah, I'm out of breath talking about it. But yeah, I'll rate my pain like a 7.
I actually regret getting my BBL sometimes. I got a BBL back in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic, and the reason why I say I hate it sometimes is because the way that it's shaped is a little, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, like, the body still be a little T a little bit, but in certain stuff it's giving real boxy. Then like my expectation, like, I don't know exactly what I expected myself to look like. Like, I wasn't even shaped like what I thought I was gonna look like. Not only that, but like the weight gain, like when you get your body done and you realize that like you really you start doing certain things, thinking, drinking and eating certain things that you feel like you couldn't have done before because your body already where you needed to be. But it catches up with you, and it catches up with you fast. After a year, like, I was over 200 pounds. No, I'm dragging it. I wasn't 200 pounds. I was probably like 185, but that's close enough to me.
BBL update day 6. So it looks really good from here,
but it still looks wild. I'm still really swollen as well.
So why can a BBL not look the greatest outside of clothing? It's really simple. You're adding volume, you're adding fat to an area. Some of that fat's going to die. It's just a given that when you do fat grafting, you lose between 30 to 50% of fat and maybe sometimes more. You'll see that someone who's had that surgery, if you've had that surgery, you've been given a cushion and things to sit on to try and not put pressure on that, because pressure will also knock off some of those fat cells. So when everything heals, there's no guarantee that that exact curve is going to be the way it is. There will be some loss of fat, there may be some dimpling. Some of that fat might calcify, so you might get a hard pebble-like feeling, and some of that fat can liquefy as well, so it can give you like an oil cyst. So if you're looking at it, the larger the area you do, the higher the chance that there'll be some loss of fat, and so the contour that you get might be camouflaged, but in some circumstances can give you some of those changes, which then again, out of clothing may not be what.
A lot of people treat a BBL like a one-time fix, and it's not. You still have to eat well, still have to work out, still have to take care of your body afterward. One person said it plainly: get a BBL, then eat badly or skip the gym, and your body won't hold on to the shape the doctor gave you. Because the fantasy version of surgery, wake up with the body, done forever. The actual version is messier. Some of the transferred fat doesn't survive. Some gets reabsorbed. Areas can shrink or turn uneven. People gain weight afterward and the shape changes again. Some say it looked great in clothes and different without them. Some describe dimpling, hard spots, oil cysts, contour issues. Then there's the mental side, which honestly might be the part that stuck with me most.
My number one regret, and will always be my number one regret, is my BBL. Deadass. And it's not because of, the new skinny trend or whatever. No. And it's not because I was botched. That would be crazy if I was botched. No, but it's not because of that. I just hate the way it messed with how I perceive myself and my self-image. You think you're going to go on that table and it's just a one and done surgery and then that's it. You're going to be happy. That's not the truth. That couldn't be farther from the truth, actually. The reality is you get off that table and you start becoming hyper aware of things you were never insecure about in the first place. Then you start to have this mentality of, okay, I was able to fix this one thing. I could just fix this too. You understand what I'm saying? And I just feel like I haven't had peace since the day before I got my surgery.
This is my last one, unfortunately. If I'm being honest, I would do another one.
Another BBL?
But my last one, I had a really bad experience. I lost a lot of blood during my surgery, and it has nothing to do with my surgeon. He was an amazing surgeon. And I wish I would have gone to him like the first two times, because there wouldn't have been around 3. But I lost a lot of blood during my surgery, and he says that he thinks it's because I had a lot of scar tissue in there. So I lost a lot of blood. My blood pressure dropped. It was literally at 40.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they rushed me to the emergency room. I was so out of it, the first 4 days in the hospital. I was obviously I knew I was alive and I wasn't in a coma or anything, but I was literally just there, asleep the whole day. I couldn't get up. I had no blood. I had to get blood transfusions. I knew I was in the hospital. None of my family knows about this. I was completely by myself. I went to go get the surgery by myself. Nobody knew. Nobody knew that I went to get the surgery. Nobody knew that I was in the hospital. So this is the first time everybody's hearing about this.
So tú te hubieras podido morir y nadie se hubiera dado cuenta.
Yeah, literally. Even my doctor came and visited me in the hospital, and he's like, you have to tell somebody. You have to tell your family. And I was like, it's okay. I'm gonna be okay. But I was freaking out in the hospital. When I would gain consciousness, because I could hear them obviously in the emergency room, just going crazy. They were literally ripping my clothes off of me, cutting my clothes off of me, sticking stuff off of me. And then they were there. I would hear them say they wanted. I had to get a CAT scan of my body because they thought that I was internally bleeding. Yeah, because I wouldn't I just kept losing blood.
That's
and my my blood pressure wasn't going up.
And during that whole week, no one knew. No one even was texting you. ¿Cómo no se dieron cuenta?
My sister-in-law found out because she had my location, so she called me and was like, why the hell are you in the hospital? And so I told her oh, I had surgery, blah, 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 it went bad. And she was so shocked, you are so stupid, why did you do that?
One woman said her regret wasn't really about the surgery itself. It was about how it changed the way she saw herself. She thought she'd fix one thing and be done with it. Instead, she got hyper aware of things she'd never even thought about before. That's a pattern with cosmetic surgery in general, not just this one. Fix the stomach, suddenly notice the hips. Fix the hips, notice the waist. Fix the waist, notice the arms. Get the butt done, then start worrying how it looks from the side, in jeans, without clothes, after any weight gain, compared to someone else's. Surgery can fix one insecurity and, without meaning to, teach your brain that every insecurity needs to be surgically fixed too. That's not everyone's experience, to be clear. Plenty of people love their results and genuinely feel more confident. But for some, the surgery becomes the start of a new fixation instead of the end of an old one.
So I've had 2 BBLs. For my first BBL, I did not have much money. I hadn't been doing OF for very long, and I had been hearing about these girls going to Turkey and getting them done for like half the price. So that's what I did. I found a clinic. They were easy to talk to and had good reviews. Like the reviews were all excellent, which looking back is probably a red flag. And they were like one of those package deal places. Surgery, accommodation for 2 weeks was like all included in the price. So I arrived to the place and like their driver picks me up. We go to the hospital to meet the surgeon and the surgeon's not there. Searching for this guy for like an hour, and then so we end up going to the clinic and see if he's there. He's not there. It's a whole mess. And keep in mind that there's like a language barrier. The guy can barely speak English. So I really don't know what's going on. After like 4 hours, we find this guy. We start talking about what I want, like what my goals are. He immediately shuts me down and says like I don't have enough fat for the surgery. I gained like 10 kilos for their surgery. I know that I had enough fat. It's almost like he was setting me up for low expectations early on so I didn't get disappointed. Anyway, surgery day comes along. Like in the operating room, I kid you not, it was like everyone's worst nightmare. I was on the operating table getting surgery and I could literally feel everything. Basically, when you get lipo done for a BBL, they have this rod and they like stick it in you and it sucks out all the fat. I could literally feel that sucking the fat out of me. It was like this burning, the most excruciating pain I've felt ever. And I was paralyzed. I could not move. All I could feel is the like tears streaming down my face. Obviously didn't give me enough sedation because I felt everything and then I remembered everything after. I could literally hear them like gossiping while they were doing surgery on me. I must have passed out like from the pain or something, because the next thing I remember is waking up and knowing that something was not right. Woke up freezing cold, like my body was literally vibrating. I know theater rooms are cold, but I have had a few surgeries and I've never woken up like that. My body was not coping. I was projectile vomiting everywhere. I woke up lying on my butt, which like when you get a BBL, you're not meant to put any pressure on it for 6 weeks. Otherwise the fat cells will die. I was trying to tell the nurses, but they were like, no, it's fine. Like this is how we do it. I was just stressing out thinking I've just paid all this money and now I'm getting ruined by sitting on my butt. So I always completely forget about this part because of just the trauma of the whole thing. But as I was getting discharged, a male nurse literally groped me while he's trying to dress me. This is like the next day after surgery, so I am like out of it. Luckily, like a female nurse walks in and he stops. He had to escort me to my car and he literally did it again in the elevator. I completely blocked this out of my memory until like 3 months after the surgery. Get to the hotel and the next day you have to do like these lymphatic massages. Go to take my garments off, like you have to wear these compression garments. I go to take them off and like my body literally looks the same. Like I still have my hip dips, I still had the fat. They just keep telling me like, oh, it's just swelling and you won't see the result until like blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of thinking to myself like, maybe they're right, you know, like I am not the expert. So I fly home literally first class because I don't want to lie on my butt. Even after the surgeon told me I could, I still didn't because I didn't want to affect my results. I was eating right. I was doing everything perfect. Within 2 months, like the fat that was transferred had gone. I later find out from my next surgeon, like if the fat isn't purified properly when it's taken out, it will die. So I see my next surgeon about a year later for a second BBL. And he told me that they had just taken chunks out of my back. Like it was so uneven. He could not believe that I woke up lying on my butt. I meant to wake up face down after the surgery. A lot of clinics from Turkey actually steal his photos. But I love my results now. Shout out to Kim. So please don't ever go to Turkey and get a BBL. I don't care how good the clinic looks, it's just not worth it.
The surgery is one part of this. Recovery is basically a second job on top of it. The boards, the foams, the massages, the drains, the pillows, the compression socks, the wipes, the puppy pads, the gauze, the loose clothes, the recovery house, getting driven around, the food, the medication, and constantly cleaning up because you're bleeding and leaking fluid.
Tomorrow, I'm 14 days post-op for my BBL, so I'm going to tell you guys everything I've been using during my recovery. The first thing is in the bathroom right now, but you need this. If you want to use the bathroom and go number 2, you need this. I didn't have it the first few days, and let me just tell you, it was not cute. To go along with that, you need a urinal. Overnight pads to put over your incisions so you don't leak, to put under your faja. I've been going through these. I already went through a whole box. Wipes to clean your private areas. The first few days you're going to smell really bad and it's going to be very hard to shower and get in the nooks and crannies. Antibacterial soap to go along with that. Towels, you can roll these up and use them in place of your pillow. You can put them behind your back. You can lay them on things. Just get a bunch of towels. Washcloths to give yourself a little bird bath. And remember, you're bleeding a lot. You have open wounds. So you want to make sure that you're switching these things out every single day. And to go along with that, hydrogen peroxide, my cousin taught me this. Ooh, that filter was looking crazy. Lifts blood. So I recommend having some hydrogen peroxide, pouring it on the things that are bloody because you're going to get bloody. I've been using this on every single load. There has been a load in the wash every single day because you're bleeding all over everything. So you want to be in a clean environment because, again, you have open wounds. So make sure everything is sanitized. Puppy pads. Puppy pads are the motherfucking truth. These have the little sticky sides on them, so they stick to wherever you place them. Y'all, I'm telling you, your blood will not go through these. You can put them on anything, pillows, blankets, your bed, the couch. Just get a really big pack and lay them down and switch them out every single day, every few hours if you bleed a lot. I personally have a drain, so I have to keep my drain covered. So I have gauze pads and some tape to put over. And then as far as clothes, I ordered a pack of Hanes tank tops because we're switching them out every day. It goes under your faja so it doesn't, bother your skin. Also, you want to make sure you have really comfortable, loose-fitting clothes. I got this robe specifically for my procedure, and I'm so glad I did because I've been wearing it. It's really easy to just throw on over your faja as well as just go to your massage appointments in. Compression socks, you have to wear these for the first 10 days, so you're definitely going to want a pair of these. Oh my God, that filter, I'm sorry, but it's saying you're bleeding and you smell bad and it's just a lot going on. So everything you have, you want to make sure you're consistently cleaning and you have things to switch into while those things are washing. And my fuzzy socks were with me the first few days. You're very uncomfortable and you lose so much blood. So I was cold, my feet were cold. So I just threw these over my compression socks. And then lastly, I feel like this is very specific to you and what your doctor recommends, but my doctor told me to get some arnica cream, which they rub on me at my appointments. Also told me to get arnica pills, but I ended up getting a rash, so I haven't used them because they told me not to. I got some vitamin C and some zinc. Vitamin C is supposed to help you heal faster, and then the zinc, I think, is for collagen and tissue repair. That's what Google said, at least. And then we have these little balls that go inside of your belly button. Your belly button doesn't close. You can just find these on Amazon. I think I typed in BBL belly button. I don't know. Lastly is lipo foam boards. So these are actually inside of my faja. Every office is different. Mine told me to purchase these, and then I have one hard one inside of here. I'm only at that stage, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up having to buy another hardboard, or I'm not really sure yet. I'm not there. But as of 2 weeks, this is everything I've used.
Okay, so first of all, whenever you want to get one, they're gonna send you for lab work, an EKG, and get medically cleared by your doctor. I didn't know that. It's one thing you didn't know. Okay, number two. My clinic didn't do this. I wish they did, but make sure you give your friend, your cousin, whoever's going to be taking you home, your prescription, because it takes hours for you to get the prescription because no one has it like immediately, which I wish they did because, people be having surgeries and people need this prescription. So make sure they have it prior into you going into surgery so you have that medication after for pain. Okay, number three, one thing you should know is that massages do hurt. The first one I had fucking hurt. I didn't come prepared, and I wish I would have took one of the pills I received or medication I received for pain. But come prepared, be mentally prepared that your first massage is always going to hurt, and no one tells you this shit. You're going to be sensitive in the front, and it's going to hurt. It's not easy. You have to be aware also that you can't sleep on your back. You're going to have to sleep on your stomach until you recover, and it's going to be 4 weeks. Not for a week, 4 weeks. And if you do have your boobs done, just know it's going to hurt because the pressure, it's not fun. You also have to wear your faja for 3 months. Don't think for a month, I'm good. 2 months, I'm already feeling better. No. 3 months, bitch. Wear that shit for 3 months and know that you're going to have to get massages also for 3 months. Don't expect it to be 1 month, 2 months. No. Get your massages for 3 months. Wear that fucking faja for 3 months.
Honestly, the supply list alone wore me out just reading it. One woman listed overnight pads for the incisions, wipes, antibacterial soap, towels, washcloths, hydrogen peroxide for blood, puppy pads for the bed and couch, gauze for the drains, tank tops to wear under the fascia, loose clothes, robes, compression socks, arnica, vitamins, foam boards. None of that sounds glamorous. It sounds messy and kind of humbling. Then the massages. This came up again and again. People kept saying they're necessary, and they hurt. These aren't spa massages. Someone is pressing directly on swollen, bruised, tender skin to move fluid out of your body. Some women said it was the worst part of the entire process. Some said fluid was literally coming out of their incisions during it. Some said they had to mentally prepare themselves before the first one. And then there's not sitting. Sounds small until you actually think about living like that. No sitting normally, no sleeping normally, specific pillow setups just so nothing touches your hips or butt. Some people are told 6 weeks. Some doctors say be careful closer to 3 months because that's roughly how long it takes to know how much of the fat actually survived the transfer. If you're a back sleeper, good luck.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of 3 months doing the best you can to stay off the buttock. You'll read, it doesn't matter, 6 weeks, 2 months. At 3 months, that's your final aesthetic result. So that's when all the cells have declared whether or not they're going to survive. And so it's not a thing where really, if you sit for a minute or two and get up, that you just messed everything up. It's prolonged sitting or sleeping on the buttock or hips. But if you slept on one hip and not the other, you'll have two totally different hips. Because how do fat cells survive is nutrients, and how does nutrients get there is blood supply. And so increased pressure outside, less blood supply to that area, you lose more fat cells in that area. So sometimes you'll see a more boxy kind of squared off bottom where the pressure points are.
I had a BBL 7 days ago today, and for the next 6 weeks, I can't sit on my bum. So I have to sleep with this really gorgeous pillow setup. As you can see, I have these blueies to stop any fluid that comes out, which it looks gross, I'm not showing you that. But yes, this is how I sleep. Not the most comfiest setup, but it works, and it stops the booty from getting too small. So yes, night night.
So you had to get in the car like that?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
No, if you cover clothes with them.
Because you didn't have that stuff done.
It's too late. Oh, Jesus.
So you can't sit on your butt?
No.
That's a damn shame. That's worse than having hemorrhoid surgery.
What is hemorrhoids?
Hemorrhoids, when you get constipated.
Alright, you guys, night 2. I just kind of have these pads laid out on the bed. I have 3 of them. I like to lay down. I'm lying. I have 4 of them. I'm not bleeding that much anymore like I was obviously day 1. Like day 1 was a little crazy. But we're looking a lot better today. So I have, this is like a one that you can wash. And then I have the disposable ones that I kind of like drape over like a little bit bigger. And then I do in like the opposite way. Kind of pushed over a little bit. And then one more of those. And then I got this pillow that is supposed to be like a stomach resting pillow. So you can be comfortable like with your boobs like laying on your stomach. But honestly, I'm really loving it for my legs to have them up, propped up, because I have like the compression socks. Like it's like a machine that it's like a sock that squeezes you while you're laying down. So you don't, like less risk of a blood clot or something. I'm a stomach sleeper though, so like it doesn't really bother me to sleep on my stomach compared to some people who are back sleepers. I can imagine that it's like torture to have to sleep. Like I wouldn't want to have to sleep on my back because I'm such a stomach sleeper. So it's not an issue for me, but I know some people really, really think that the nights are really rough because they can't sleep on their backs. But it's no problem for me. And I have like a little step stool here, so I just go like this. And I go like this. Slowly face plant on the bed. That's how I go to sleep.
Okay. All right. Maybe I should put the seat back a little bit. A lot of it. Okay, wait. Wait. Okay. Bum is floating, okay? Door is closed. Let's get closer. All right. Winner, chicken dinner, baby!
Now the cost, because most people are way off on this. They hear the surgeon's quote and think that's the number. It's the starting number. After that, there's the recovery house, supplies, fajas, massages, pillows, compression socks, medication, transportation, food, flights, and sometimes blood transfusions or private nurse. One woman said her BBL, lipo, arms, and chin were quoted around $8,500. By the time everything else got added in, she was closer to $15,000. That's the gap nobody calculates ahead of time. You save for the surgery, and then recovery quietly adds thousands more. Go out of the country for it, and there's more to think about on top of that. Cash payments, travel, recovery homes, nurses, changed flights, extra days, food delivery, supplies you forgot to pack. And if something goes wrong, you're dealing with it far from home. One story in this video genuinely disturbed me. A woman went to Turkey for a cheaper BBL and described a language barrier, a surgeon she could barely track down, waking up feeling like something was wrong, feeling parts of the procedure, vomiting, being put on her back afterward when she wasn't supposed to be, and later feeling like the results didn't even hold. That's the kind of story that should make anyone stop and think. I get wanting to save money. This surgery is expensive. But cheaper isn't automatically worse, and it's not automatically fine either. Package deal can sound convenient, and you still need to actually know who your surgeon is, what the hospital standards are, what happens if there's an emergency, and whether you genuinely feel safe. If your gut is telling you something's off before surgery, listen to it. Losing a deposit is nothing compared to the alternative.
If you're getting a BBL or considering getting one, take out your notepad because a BBL costs way more than you probably think. I don't think a lot of people realize this until they're like, almost signed up for it. So long story short, it's obviously going to cost you the dollar amount that your doctor quotes you, okay? So for example, mine was $8,500 for the BBL, the lipo, arms, and chin, okay? After that, you want to take in consideration, are you going to stay at a recovery home, right? My recovery home, about $1,800. Then you're gonna need a lot of post-op supplies. Fajas start at the good ones, the ones that you really want to get on, cost at a minimum $100. Okay, the good ones can go up to $300. Okay, I have some good ones linked on my page. Anyways, fajas, right? Then you need pillows. I probably bought it was 8 pillows until I found the most perfect pillows for my liking. Each one costs $50 to $80. Then what else? I'm trying to think. Then you're going to obviously need to buy a whole bunch of good healthy food. I need a blood transfusion, $500. Some people need 2, 3, blood transfusions. Transportation, depending where you live or where you're located, you might have to spend a bunch of money on flights and travel. Luckily for me, I live pretty close to the border, so what I had to do is just cross over to Tijuana, and I had to pay $40 plus another little minor fee to be crossed over. It was actually pretty easy. And then there's a bunch of post-op supplies, like for example, compression socks, arnica cream. Other post-op expenses can include things like supplements, like iron, slippers, PJs. A big tip is that you want to buy extra large comfy clothes, because when you come out of surgery, you're bleeding a lot. All that clothes that I bought for my recovery home all went to the trash. I had to cut some of it up because it wasn't big enough, so I had to cut up the pants so that way I have something to wear. Diapers, gauzes, antiseptic sprays, scar cream, I bought supplements for lymphatic drainage. So many expenses that come into play when you get a BBL. I would say I thought it was gonna be 85. I was oh, it's not too bad, I saved up my coin. And then all these expenses came into play, and you just really want to make sure you have it and you got it good, because you never know what's going to come in. that you have to spend money on. I want to say I spent anywhere, I honestly lost count a long time ago how much money I spent on all this stuff, but easily I'd say like 15K, like easily.
I got my BBL done in 2021. That was during COVID, so keep that in mind. I spent $3,800, but my total cost of the trip was about $7,500. Okay. Now I paid everything cash because I went out of the country, and out of the country they only accept cash. They don't do credit. So, you know, if y'all decide to go out of the country, make sure you got some cash. It's probably different now, but if it's still the same thing, you bring cash. Okay, so my butt cost me $2,300. My boobs, I got a breast reduction. It cost me $1,500. Okay. I stayed 14 days. I spent $1,400 for 14 days at the recovery house. My massages was only $25, and I spent about $350 because I think I got one massage per day, I think, or something like that. I had to get some medicine right after I got the surgery done, and it cost me like $30. No more than $30. I think it was like only $25. You have to pay for insurance when you get your body done. That was $300, but I did get a refund at the end of my trip, so that don't count. I had to pay to get around. That was no more than $200, I think. During that time, we had to get COVID tests. That was $25. I ended up spending about $1,200 on miscellaneous stuff. And miscellaneous, I had to pay a nurse to stay overnight with me just so I won't die. But yeah, I paid a nurse. Also just like, you know, DoorDash and food because I really didn't care for the food like that. So I got food. You know, I changed my flight a few times because I really wanted to go home so bad. So I kept changing my flight and they kept telling me like, no girl, you need to stay. So that's where the extra $1,200 came from basically. But yeah, that's my BBL price.
We should talk about BBL smell too, since it's basically become its own conversation online. I want to be careful with this one because a lot of the time it gets brought up just to mock women, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. After surgery, there are open wounds, drainage, bleeding, compression garments, and sometimes you can't even shower right away. So yes, early on in recovery, there can be an odor. That's just what healing from major surgery looks like. It doesn't mean everyone with a BBL smells years later. It doesn't mean anyone deserves to be shamed for it. But the internet tends to turn it into a joke instead of talking honestly about what recovering from major surgery actually involves. To me, the BBL smell thing is really about something bigger. It's how the internet glamorizes surgery beforehand and then mocks women for the recovery after. First, there's pressure to get the perfect body. Then once someone actually does it, people mock the faja, the smell, the swelling, the scars, the way they walk. It's set up so women basically can't win either way. Being honest about recovery, fine. Turning that honesty into humiliation is a different thing entirely. There's a real difference between explaining what surgical healing can smell like and using it to shame every woman who's had work done.
Surgery girls, we gotta talk. And don't kill the messenger, please. BBL smells a thing. And I know the girls are gonna want to tussle in the comment. Everybody's gonna argue about how they didn't smell. And as somebody who works with surgery girls and has been in the industry for 6+ years, a lot of people actually do smell. BBL smell the way that people are trying to drag it, like everybody who has a BBL smells years later. That's not true. But after surgery, whether you get a BBL, liposuction, tummy tuck, you have open wounds and you are draining fluid. Especially the first 24 hours, you cannot take a shower. Sometimes you will have an odor. Now, a little bit of a minimal odor is somewhat normal because, again, it is fluid and blood and it's sitting in a garment for 24 hours. It's going to have a little bit of a smell. But some people have an extreme pungent odor. And that's because you didn't detox before surgery. And I don't want that to be you. So this is what you're going to do, bestie. You're going to go on a detox. You're going to get dandelion tea. You're going to mix it with ginger and turmeric. You're going to let it steep overnight and you're going to drink it every day, 2 to 3 cups a day. You're going to take a probiotic, a good one. You know, maybe the one you have to refrigerate. You can get them at Whole Foods. You're going to also incorporate chlorophyll water. Life changer, thank me later. Your punani is going to smell good too. And you won't even have to wear deodorant. And you're going to change your diet. No alcohol, no excessive greasy processed foods. Be clean. You're going to smell like what you eat. The odor that you exude after surgery has a lot to do with your internal gut health.
I've been hearing a lot about BBL smell, and I got a BBL, so I'm going to tell you how it smells. You do smell like hospital, as Mary Cosby would say, for a little while afterwards while you're leaking. I felt like it smelled like IV fluid and arnica gel, which is my nightmare. But once you're done leaking, you don't really smell. However, wearing the same faja every day will make you smell, so just buy 2. That's what I did. And then your foam boards that you have to like stuff into your faja, you just buy packs of those and just throw them away when they start being gross. Also, life hack, if you're getting a BBL, buy a shower curtain and then put like chucks on top of it, like they look like doggy potty pads. Okay, you put that on top so then if you leak, it doesn't get onto your bed or anything, and it's easy to throw away when you're done leaking. Easy. That's what I did. I've seen people say that like getting a BBL, if you get a BBL, you could easily go through childbirth. I disagree from my perspective. I don't think I was given painkillers, and I think I just did ibuprofen. I feel like getting an IUD inserted was far more painful and traumatizing than a BBL, but I am like 5 years removed from my BBL, so maybe I'm like forgetting, and this is all in like my head. But I feel like the most painful part is like trying to get up. You're pretty much doing a push-up, but you've been thrown around on a surgery table, so you're like really sore. That's the best way to put it. And also your butt doesn't really hurt, at least mine didn't, but where you got lipo does hurt. So if you're gonna do like thigh, arm, and midsection lipo, it's gonna be much harder for you. I only did 360 lipo, so only my stomach and my back, and that's the part that hurts. And we're 5 years down the line. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like uncomfortable, but like if you poke me in the stomach, it feels different than you'd poke me in the arm. Like the skin feels different in my body, not from like someone else touching it. And same with my butt, like it just feels different. It's foreign still after 5 years. Also, like same thing with like when you're sick. Like I went to work after like 6 days after I got my surgery. Okay, I do eyelashes, I just did them standing up. But when you're sick, like you have like little bursts of energy and you like want to like go up and do something. And that was like the same thing. Like I wanted to go to the Taco Bell cantina even though I couldn't drink, and it was like spring break in Fort Lauderdale, and so I was like in my faja in sweats, and all these girls are out looking gorge, and I was like, I don't care, we're going. And I stood up and I ate my cheesy gordita crunch and then went back and went to bed. I don't know, that was kind of like our weekend. I did not go to a surgery center. I had my boyfriend come with me, and he just like he brought his Xbox and displayed his Xbox in the Airbnb while I like slept, and I'd get up and eat and then go back to sleep, scroll through my phone. Flying back to Utah, so that's like what, 5-hour flight or something. There was so much turbulence, and so I couldn't really stand up at all, so I just sat on my BBL pillow, and then to drive I sat on my BBL pillow. Also, I started sleeping on my side, so then sides of my butt are flat. It's this whole thing, so really sleep on your stomach.
Put all these stories together, and the real conversation here isn't BBLs are good or BBLs are bad. It's how normal this surgery became online versus how extreme the actual recovery is. For years, it got marketed as the ultimate upgrade. Smaller waist, rounder hips, better clothes, better photos, better confidence. And for some people, maybe it really did give them that. But none of the rest of it is small. Not the recovery, not the risk, not the maintenance, not the cost, not the emotional weight of it. Honestly, watching all of this laid out, it's kind of wild to me. Women going through all of that, the pain, the massages, the bleeding, the months of not sitting right for the chance at a nicer body. This is a genuinely dangerous surgery. And I do get why people still get it.
Part 2 story time of how I had to cancel an appointment because my client had a smelly BBL. I was very nice with her about it. I said to her, hey baby, I think, you're going to have to go home and shower. She says, she got really upset. She said, what do you mean? I said, baby, you're going to have to go home and shower and freshen up. And I said, I have some BBLA products that you can use that helps with that. Take some of this, take a kit of this, go home and use it. I don't want no motherfucking products. I'm straight. I'm like, baby, you do have this odor. You have the post-op odor, the BBL odor. So she said, well, we can't take baths. That's not my fault. What am I supposed to do? I need my service. So this went on for like minutes and minutes at a time. And I kept pleading with her, can you just please, baby, I cannot work on you like this. It's not fair to me, and it's not fair to you because you're not going to get the quality of service that you deserve. Well, this girl got all in my face. She started like trying to get at me. She got so offended with me, and it was not anyone in there. I was so nice. I'm a very nice person. So I had to tell her, look, you have to find somebody else to do your service. It won't be me. You cannot come back here to get your service done. So I wound up having to call the cops to have her escorted out. She was still outside arguing about it.
So this smell is fat necrosis. So if you get your butt overfilled with fat during a BBL, the body can only supply so much fat with blood. So in order to survive and have that fat survive forever, the body needs to supply it with a blood supply. So when there's too much fat for the body to give it blood, then that fat will die. It's called fat necrosis. This could even result in a huge infection that would require antibiotics or even hospitalization. You could get sepsis from this. So this is a huge issue. This is not a myth. You can
Beauty standards aren't going anywhere, and I'm not here to judge anybody who's made that choice for themselves. But after actually seeing what this recovery looks like, I'm kind of shocked people are still lining up for it in 2026. You can't sit normally. You can't sleep normally. You have to protect the fat that got transferred, sit through the massages, keep moving even when moving hurts. You might leak, bleed, smell, faint, cry, need help getting to the bathroom. You might end up needing thousands more than you planned for. And after all of that, you might not even keep the exact result you woke up with. So the conversation needs more honesty than a before and after clip or a cute recovery vlog is ever going to give you. People deserve to know the real timeline, the real pain, the real extra costs, what happens if the fat doesn't survive, that the massages genuinely hurt, that you'll need supplies you never thought to buy, that it can mess with you mentally, that your body still needs the gym and actual nutrition after all this. I think the real question is what someone's actually trying to fix. If you understand the risks, you've vetted your surgeon, you have the money for real aftercare, and you're doing it for yourself with your eyes open, that's a real decision, and it's yours to make. If you're doing it hoping it'll finally make you love yourself or stop comparing yourself to other people, I'd slow down there because surgery changes your body. It doesn't automatically change how you see it. That's where some women end up blindsided, expecting peace and getting hyper-awareness instead. And then there's just plain safety. Don't go somewhere just because it's cheaper. Don't ignore red flags because a clinic has good reviews. Don't travel alone for major surgery without telling anyone where you are. Don't hide it from everyone in your life because if something goes wrong, somebody needs to know where to find you. One woman in this video ended up in the hospital after losing a serious amount of blood, and nobody in her family even knew where she was. That alone should be a wake-up call. This is your life we're talking about, not just your body. So if someone's actually considering this, ask the real questions. Am I healthy enough for it? Is my surgeon actually qualified? What's the plan if something goes wrong? How much blood loss is considered normal? Where am I recovering? And who's helping me? Can I afford the aftercare, not just the surgery itself? How many massages am I realistically looking at? How long do I need to stay off it? What percentage of the fat usually survives? What if I hate it, or gain weight later, or need a revision? The goal isn't just a body that looks good online. It's getting through the process safely and not losing yourself chasing a version of beauty that keeps changing every couple of years anyway. Because it does keep changing. The same body that got worshipped online a few years ago is now getting criticized and reversed by some of the same people who wanted it in the first place. That's what makes it risky to permanently change your body for a trend that isn't permanent. Trends move fast. Surgery doesn't. So I want to know what you think. Is the BBL trend actually losing steam? Or are people just getting more honest about what the recovery is like? Do you think people go into this properly warned about the pain, the cost, the maintenance? And if you've had one, was it worth it? Or did the recovery change how you feel about cosmetic surgery altogether?